Hey guys, it is day number 54 of 90, and my name's Alan Thomas. Most of you guys watching this have probably seen me. It's probably the same five people watching over and over again. But if you're new and you don't know who I am, I have Rethink Dieting for Men, where I do weight loss coaching for men that have struggled with obesity, and I want to transform my future coaching. It's my journey really with this whole weight loss thing. It started 40 years ago, but it was a 260-day journey that I took 40 years ago on. So during that process, what happened was in March of 2017, I stepped on the scale and saw 304 pounds. I'm only 5'11". I'm not 9 feet tall. And, it hit me that at 55 years old, which I was then, I'd never met a man that was 65 or even 60 to my knowledge that was morbidly obese. I'm sure they're out there. I just never met them. And at the time, and I had been doing this for several years, for about a decade, I'd been working in the life insurance business that dealt with senior adults. That's people over 65. So I had had hundreds and hundreds of meetings with seniors, and I couldn't remember one instance of a man 65 years old that was over 100 pounds overweight. Again, they're probably out there. It wasn't a scientific study, but clearly it meant something to me, and I realized that I was giving myself a death sentence. I'd tried to lose weight over and over. I tried everything, good gosh, but food and me, man, we were boys. We hung out together. We did everything together. We snuck around together, all this kind of thing. But I got serious about it, and I publicly committed to losing 129 pounds in 260 days. And during that 260-day period, I actually committed to 265 days, but hit it in 260 days. I journaled my story, and I did it publicly so that people could watch it, because it was really important to me that it affected more than just me. And I guess I knew I did it for selfish reasons initially, just to get the stinking weight off. But I realized that there were so many people struggling at that time, and I never had the intention of being a weight loss person. I just failed over and over again. But when I got it really well, and it was just like all the things I'd learned, not to do made sense, and boom, the weight came off. People get hung up on all these diets and everything, and there's great diets out there. But if the diet was really the issue, wouldn't we all be 30? I say this all the time. Wouldn't we all have 32-inch waists and six-pack abs? So clearly, it's not diet and exercise. Those are must-have components to any weight loss program. Healthy diet, all that stuff, I get it. But it's never really the issue. It's always the thinking process. And I think, I've looked up, sometimes when I'm struggling for things to say on these lives, I've done this a couple of times, I look back at posts that I've made, or the journaling that I made along the way. And I found this one on cheat days, the first one I came to, and it was just funny to me, and I was like, did I really write that? So I normally don't just read these. I have the idea, and I just kind of roll with it where I am now. As you can tell, I'm not scripted, so I'm probably not winning any Academy Awards, clearly. But I'm going to read some of this, because it's really, I was like, man, I thought it was pretty good. But cheat days they're curious to me. They're curious to me now as I work with men day in and day out, and I get a lot of questions about cheat days. And at 304 pounds, I became an expert on cheat days. I mean, I was like a foremost authority, like NBC, CNN, Fox News, all those news channels, CBS, ABC, whoever. They would call me to know what a cheat day was, because I had big meals that were way over the top, so they were cheap. Seconds, thirds, I'd have desserts, I'd have snacks, I'd have first breakfast, I'd have second breakfast, I'd have first lunch, I'd have second lunch, I'd have just one more bite. That's all. It's a special occasion. I mean, now think about this, it's a special occasion. How many times have you said that? If you're obese and you're hearing this, how many times have you said, well, I've got to eat that today because of this special occasion, a birthday, the day that my cat, had went over to the neighbor's house. You come up with these obscure reasons, and it's funny. And because we build our life around food, we live in an abundant world. I mean, first world countries, tons of food. I know there are people starving out there, but by and large, people are not starving. 39% of the male population is obese right now and growing, and they're not getting taller, they're getting fatter. So you could kind of fill in the blank with whatever day it was. I always had an excuse, always had a reason. I justified my behavior with what I did. You just name it. And so I used it only, and I'm reading this, to justify my unwillingness to make my health a priority. And I'd go even beyond that, to make the life I was living a priority. I mean, health is a foundational issue. You've got to have health for anything, to do anything else. If you're dead, hello, it's pretty tough to go do stuff. But all the life that you give up, all the pain that you cause family and loved ones, because you just won't get away from the cheat day. And I decided to create this new paradigm on cheat days. I'd forgotten about this. It's just funny. So a cheat day, let me challenge you with a new definition. When you cheat the doctor out of an extra appointment because you're too healthy to go, because you're not on blood pressure medicine, you don't use a sleep apnea machine, you don't need type 2 diabetes, insulin or pills, metformin, all these different things. You don't need any of that stuff because you're too healthy. Hello. How about when you cheat the pharmaceutical companies out of all the medication that you won't be buying? I mean, how much is that? I mean, think about your deductibles. I just saw a friend posted was looking for a health insurance plan, and it's like $24,000 for a health insurance plan that will not cover hardly anything for $10,000 or $12,000. So you cheat people out of all this medication and cheat these companies out of that. That's a pretty big cheat. How about when you cheat a heart surgeon in a hospital out of a bypass surgery and an angioplasty that you won't need because you got healthy? How about that one? How about not having to how about not cheating your family out of you getting the promotion because you were too fat, and they didn't tell you were too fat because they can't really say that, but you're so fat that they don't want to give you promotion, so because they want the guy that's fit to be in there. How about you cheat that person that was fit and you got the promotion because you were more qualified anyway? And I know that's not politically correct to say, but it happens. I mean, how many times have you gone into a meeting and they're looking at you like you got a creature on your shoulder because you're 100 pounds overweight? That was me. How many times have I gone into a house and they really didn't want to listen to me when I was in sales, so I was cheating my family out of all the money that they were earning. How about let's cheat and win and not really cheat? That doesn't sound right. But anyway, it just hits me. How about when I cheat life into giving me more days than my previous path was taking me on, and I get more time with my family? How about that? You cheat life. You got more days. I think of the king that got more days in the Bible, and he pled with God, and God gave him all these extra days. How about when you get to meet your grandchildren? How about when I get to be here and live a full and healthy life? How about that? How about you cheat all your friends out of the ability to make fun of you secretly under their breath? How about you cheat the people on the airline out of the jokes that they're going to be telling about you because you're morbidly obese? How about you cheat the theme park guy at the theme park who's having to shove that seatbelt around you or whatever it is that they do, and he's getting a big kick out of it? How about you cheat him out of that laughter that he's going to have secretly about you, and that is going on because you can see it in his eye? How about you cheat and win, and not cheat from the perspective of doing dishonest? How about you do something the right way? How about you think about this? How about you think about the possibility of sticking to something 100%? Is that possible? Yes, it's possible. It's humanly possible, believe it or not. So, and I put this down. I know all of our days are numbered, but I also know that God gave you and me something called free will. And we get a little bit of say-so in the numbers of days we get, because if you go out there and you tell me this, I mean, you can agree or disagree with this. Do you really think that it's God's will for you to be obese? Do you really think so? I mean, I talk to people who think that God has no problem with it. I said, well, I'm not a theologian, clearly, but that, do you think it's, and then I'll ask you, do you think it's okay to be a drunk? To be an alcoholic? Okay, so, and I'm not shaming alcoholics or whatever, but let's be honest, pretty much any Christian is going to say, yeah, that's not real cool with God. Okay, so what does it mean when he says, do not hang out with gluttons and drunkards? You don't think he's talking about people who overeat, do you? And how could you possibly tell anybody that overeats? Could it be the person like me that was 129 pounds overweight? Could that be a possibility? Yeah, you think. So is God going to hate me because of it? No. But there's the consequences of what I've been doing are going to cost me and my family forever. And so, at any rate, I just believe that we do have a say-so. So sticking to a healthy program, whatever it is, pick one. There's 10,000 of them. It isn't convenient. It's almost never convenient, and it's almost never comfortable. But I can promise you this: comfort is overrated. Because when you learn to embrace the idea of doing something that you've never done, which is stick to a program. And I was on the phone with a client today, and it was so funny listening to him talk. He was just cracking me up. I mean, I was just, having God bumps the whole time, and he was just, all this stuff he's doing and how he's dialing in what he's doing. I'm not telling him how to do any of this. All I'm doing is saying, you can do better, you can do this, and you can do this. And he's figuring it out. And he's in absolutely the best shape he's been in, I don't know, I think he says he was like 18 or 20. I mean, and he's 41 years old, got kids. His kids are rooting for him. His wife's rooting for him, and he's down like 9 inches in his waist, and he's got his mojo back. And so that's possible. A year ago when we started working together, not so much. And so it's really cool to see, and I get to witness it every day. So believe me, it's 100% possible to reframe your cheat days into cheating the world out of all those negative things and taking the good stuff. And so I don't know if this makes sense. I kind of rambled like I always do, but just understand, I know where you are. If you're a morbidly obese man, I've been there. You can, and I use the Israelites as an example a lot of times coming out of Egypt, but I was thinking today, because I talked to a couple of men this week that really want to fit for my program. I didn't invite them in. Because they were actually living in Egypt. They were by denial. They were right by the Nile. And so denial. They were in denial that their obesity was going to cost them 20, 30 years of their life. They were in denial that anybody really noticed. They were in denial that it was hurting them in their business. They were in denial in many, many, many ways. And so, if you're somebody who's sick and tired of being sick and tired, I mean, you're sick of this. You're sick of this fat. You're sick of waking up in the middle of the night wondering if you're going to be dead the next day. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you're ready to do something about it, and you're ready to find the solution, you're ready to get this thing in gear, then reach out to me. Go to transformmyfuture.com/apply. It's always in the notes. I've got a free masterclass called Rethink Dieting for men, and it's rethinkdieting.com, and it's in the notes with this Facebook Live. But know this: you don't have to take 40 years like I did to get from Egypt to the Promised Land. I mean, are you kidding me? It took me 40 years to figure it out. Really it did. And then 260 days to get out. Hello. I mean, isn't that better? I mean, it's like the Israelites leaving Egypt, 11 days or 40 years. It was an 11-day walk, and I talk about this all the time. So, I encourage you to be inspired. Be inspired that this is within your reach. What one man or woman can do, another man or woman can do. And I just really want to encourage you not to give up. Don't give up on your family. Don't give up on your life. And go check out that free web class or book a free breakthrough call with me, and we'll dial it in. We'll figure out what solution might be for you, or what you could possibly do to get past that. I'll have some ideas. But also tomorrow, I'm going to do a Facebook Live tomorrow, which will be day number 55 of 90. And I've got Jeff Andresian is going to be coming on with me. Jeff is just retired as captain with American Airlines. He's an adventurer. His Dad was a pilot. Stories of him flying into, literally with his whole family, flying into Vietnam during the war, and he was like a 12-year-old kid, and so he's like this adventurer. But man, he is you want to have your notebook out when you're listening to him, because Jeff is an amazing man. I look up to him. Anytime I want to know something really, really deep, he's a great go-to guy for that. And he's going to talk. I'm hoping he's going to talk about how so many of our men have been domesticated, and I think that's one of the things, and how that wildness and aliveness, I guess that's a word, really is that you're being called to. So what does that have to do with weight? A lot, because your weight's holding you back. It's holding you back from something. Maybe that's it. So anyway, you guys have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow at noon Eastern.